to the field. From the ice to the turf, we'll break it down. Discussing every win and every loss in town. We'll talk about the Canucks and the Lions. We are your irrational fans. We are your irrational fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with episode 139 of the Hughes Sports Podcast. I am your host, of course, Jake Hughes, alongside the reclining old man. Old man, how the hell are you doing today?
The retirement has really been treating me well. I get to recline and I'm hilarious.
You are ridiculous. I'm surprised because normally I cut to you and you're busy texting away, getting everything posted to socials, and I look instead and you're just relaxing.
This had been planned for a long time. Like hours. I was like, watch what I'm gonna do. That's funny. I'm a funny guy.
You're
life
something
is good. Cannot complain. How about you? How are you feeling?
I basically since we landed back in Calgary. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're really soft.
Weird. Since we landed back in Calgary, I have been sick. I'm on meds and all puffers and nasal sprays and everything like that. So I'm starting to finally feel more human. And honestly, if I was feeling half as bad as I was yesterday, there'd be no chance I'd be doing the show today. So the meds work.
This is why we don't go to Winnipeg.
I don't think it has anything to do with Winnipeg. I think it has to do with the amount of alcohol that was in my system.
Are you saying there was alcohol in your system when we were working?
I think someone out of the two of us, and I'm not going to point fingers on which one of us it was, just kept ordering drinks every time I went somewhere.
I tell you,
it's his fault.
It's insane how much work it is.
To what? Keep drinking? Like you
to keep you happy.
To keep me happy?
Yes.
I'm pretty easy to keep happy. The big problem is the Canucks keep losing. The Lions weren't in the Grey Cup. The only real bright spot we got is Vancouver FC is doing well. And exactly. The Whitecaps FC.
Thank you. They're not Vancouver FC.
No, they are another team. They are another team that's not in the MLS.
Yes.
And the Vancouver Golden Eyes, the PWHL team, launched to great success in their home opener.
Who? The Golden Eyes. That's the ladies hockey.
The women's league, yeah.
They're playing out of the Pacific Coliseum, and I read that, and I was like, oh, boy.
Sold out for their first game.
Way back.
Sold out for the first game. Setting a record for the PWHL attendance record.
Oh, okay.
And then I think it's tonight or tomorrow or sometime this week, Seattle, who's the other expansion team this year for the PWHL, is about to sell the Climate Pledge Arena, which is where the Kraken play. So positive signs for the PWHL.
Yeah.
Which is great to see.
Sorry, I was just posting up because I didn't do it while we were coming on air because I was too busy getting set in my recliner. This is how we should do the show every week. Me and a recliner just kind of kick back.
Well, I was going to say, if you do that, you might need like an arm to bring your mic a little bit closer to you.
Well, I can do that. How's that?
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
We can always hear you fine. It's the microphone just seems far away from your face when mine is like right there. That's all.
Well, see, they all want to see this pretty face. They like to cover that up. Boom, boom, boom.
See, the thing is that people always tell me we look alike, so really you're just insulting yourself.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
But yeah, we haven't been live since being on the field pre-game for the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
It's only been a week and a half. We were talking off air, and you're like, "Have we not gone live?" No, it's only been a week and a half since the Grey Cup.
Feels like a month.
It really has. That week, that entire 5 days we were there felt like 2 weeks because
It was.
and go.
What did you think of it? Like, not the game, but just being able to be back, kind of behind the curtain. We pulled the curtain back. We got a real look at what it was like. Like, we always see the press conferences, pregame, postgame on TV. We like to listen to it because of what we do. What was your takeaway from all of that behind the curtain stuff?
I'm trying to. I'm silent for. I'm trying to word it properly because it was intimidating to begin with. Because it just feels like, okay, like these, like, who am I? Why would anyone care about what I have to say?
Yes.
As time went on, I mean, everyone there from the media was super gracious, like talking to people. They're like, "Oh, that's amazing! You guys have a podcast and you're doing this. Great! Let's connect. Let's make connections." And it was really great for that side of things.
Yes.
The layout of how it was done in Winnipeg, and I only have the one instance for Winnipeg, I think could have used work. Having the media hotel where it was, having the two other event centers downtown 20-30 minutes away, and a 10-minute 15-minute walk between the two event centers, I think could have used a lot of work. But overall, I think it went very smoothly. For us as a podcast, a lot of learning, a lot of,
Yes.
okay, we need to make sure we have this and this and this for next year.
And we will. Exactly.
And again, the nice thing is now I have that expectation of what the experience is like. So I'm not going to go in with, okay, I have no idea what's happening, and right.
Well, we went in with a real wide-eyed. I had never been to a press conference before as media.
Yeah.
So when you when you use the word intimidating, it really was. I didn't, as you know, I'm not a shy guy.
Yeah.
I didn't ask any questions when we were in a scrum situation. I did when I was able to get one-on-ones, as people heard, because we had the recordings on the show. But when we were in those scrums and people like Justin Dunk, and Farhan Walji and all these Dave Naylor, and
the guys that we quote for news sources in the CFL.
Yes, like these are the guys that we go to. I follow them on Twitter. I literally look for when they're saying something. I take it at their words because I know they're the insiders.
Yeah.
When they're asking questions, and you kind of it kind of took me back at first. And I wish it didn't. I wish I would have asked questions, because I think our questions we would have asked would have been just as good, if not better, than a lot of the questions that were asked. You guys don't see all the questions.
Yeah.
There was some really dumbass questions asked, in my opinion.
But they're questions that need to be asked. And we talked about that too. It's like, you have to ask those questions, because if you don't, it's, well, why did no one ask this question?
Yeah. But some of the questions were just, and you could see whether it be Trevor Harris or Corey Mace or Moss or they get asked the question, they're like almost cringing, and it's like, oh, yeah. But I think it was a great experience for us, and I look forward to hopefully the CFL opening up to us more and allowing us better access. We made some really good contacts with the media relations people in the CFL. So I'm hoping that really opens up a lot of opportunity for the Hughes Sports Podcast to really grow. And you're going to have to excuse my throat. And really expand our viewership and bring in like kind of a new, I'm going to call it a new, yeah, like we're going to be professional, a new professional level of our show, because we're going to be able to access a little bit more, I think.
Well, and I think it goes from a generic fan podcast where we're talking about the news with our opinions to opening those doors to have those sources and those connections that we can be a source that people go to for news.
Oh, I mean,
right?
How many people could message Paul LaPolice and say, hey, I was the guy that got your name wrong. You must remember me.
What a story that was.
Or a Dave Naylor, or there's so many different people that, like, Farhan Walji recognized us.
Yeah.
To me, that's freaking cool. That means something to us. And I look forward to seeing this next year unfold, because it's like we're starting a new season now.
Yeah. And I mean, the CFL is notorious for going quiet during basically from now until March.
Yeah.
We'll get a trickle of news. We'll get a trickle of news here. There, in the world of the CFL, there is the news that BC Lions are going to host their 2 games that they needed to be out of BC Place for the World Cup. That has finally been announced, as they will be playing 2 games in Kelowna in a 20,000 seat stadium.
17,500. It originally sits 5,500, and they're going to expand it to 17,500. It was funny. I was listening to the Rod Peterson show just Monday or Tuesday. What day is it today? Wednesday. I think it was Monday. And Scruffy from Winnipeg, one of Rod's regular co-hosts, has inside information saying the CFL is serious about Kelowna.
To me, we talked about it after the commissioner's address, and it wasn't anything that was said. It was the vibe we got, that it was like, okay, Kelowna's the Okanagan is of interest. Kelowna wasn't specifically said, and because we said you could go Kamloops or Kelowna. Clearly, Kelowna now has a stadium that's big enough to be able to host a team.
17,500, big enough?
What was the average attendance for Calgary?
Like 25?
Was it that much? I'm pulling the numbers up here. Calgary, 22.
22? So, I mean, I think you would need at least a 25 to 30,000. Can they do it? I'm sure. I mean, this is just temporary stands. I'm sure they could rebuild and make it a 25, or they would have to make it 30. I can't. That's something we could find out. That's maybe there's someone we could get on that will be able to tell us. Yeah, it's the minimum standard is you have to be able to put 30,000.
Yeah, because if you're looking at the numbers for this year, the 3 losing teams, so Edmonton, Toronto, Ottawa, to me, those are the 3 losing teams in the CFL this year. 19,000 was their average for Edmonton, 18,136 for Ottawa, and 15,109 for Toronto. Obviously, as coming in as a new franchise, you want to be above those numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Probably close to that 25,000 mark.
Wouldn't it be cool if 5 years from now we're sitting here and we have a 12-team league? I think I think it's more likely than we're talking other scenarios that I've talked on before. But if you have another team in the West, the issue has always been, well, we need a team out East. We need another team out East. Well, no, you move Winnipeg back to the East.
right? And you've got BC, which I think would need a
Okanagan.
name change. Okanagan, Calgary, Edmonton, Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
and then you've got five on the other side. To me, that's the perfect amount of teams for a handful of years.
Or you bring in 2 in the East and you have your Atlantic team and you have a Quebec City team and you have then all of a sudden you have the Okanagan. Now you got 12
That,
teams.
to me, that's aggressive enough. Like looking at your 5 year, like 5 years, I think that's very aggressive.
Damn rights it is. It's about time this league gets freaking aggressive. It's been, you know what? We've talked about expansion in this league. Well, since you and I have been on the air 3 years ago, or coming up to 3 years.
Before that, even.
It's been decades and decades and decades of talk.
Every commissioner's goal is we're going to bring in. I mean, until the Red Blacks were brought in, and I don't remember what year that was. It was fail in Ottawa, fail in Ottawa, fail in Ottawa.
Yes.
Or success in Ottawa.
Well, it was the Ottawa Rough Riders. It was the Ottawa Renegades.
And then the Red Blacks.
Now the Red Blacks.
Yeah.
But the Red Blacks isn't a expansion team. I just heard this the other day. They actually were even though they had an expansion draft, they were the Ottawa Renegades just changed their name and they gave them an expansion draft.
Was new ownership new ownership come in and buy the naming rights?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Yeah. It's very similar to Utah. Technically, yes. Utah got an expansion team because the owner down in Arizona doesn't have a arena for the team to play in.
Exactly.
So he vacated all their contracts. Their contract got moved to Ottawa. So technically Utah, the Mammoth, are an expansion team, and Arizona technically has a team that's dormant.
Bizarre.
It's one of those things where it's like that. It's such a weird trivia fact that will come up once every 15, 20 years. And you're like, I know that. Why do I know that? I don't know, but it's in there.
It's there.
Yeah. So, no, I think in 10 years, if we're talking 12 teams, I think that's a realistic plan.
No, but I think 5.
I think 5 is very aggressive. I also think it has to, I think there's a lot that has to do with the TV rights deal that's coming up. Because the TV rights deal is up at the end of 2026. So a year from now, we will know who the new TV rights deal is.
Well, I think you will see the what direction with this new TV deal. You'll see the direction that this new commissioner and his team want to go. If it's heavy U.S. coverage, then our prediction was right.
I think it has. I think there's going to be big players that aren't in the traditional sports realm.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping there's going to be like a streaming service that jumps in.
Yeah. I don't know why I keep thinking it's going to be Amazon because they already have Thursday Night Football.
I was going to say Prime or even Paramount Plus, Netflix. Who knows?
See, I don't think Paramount it has all sorts of financial issues on the back end. So I don't think tying your ship to them right now is great.
Can you imagine the outrage from the traditional fans
But there's no reason why you can't do both. Here's the great thing with an Amazon is they already have partnerships with TSN.
Yes.
You can go to Amazon and watch TSN. So why couldn't Amazon say it's our product now? You pay Amazon a quarter of what you're paying now, which is $50 million a year. So you pay, let's say, $12.5 million a year, and you get to air all the games on cable, but we're producing it.
And then you could get the games on Amazon on Prime.
Yeah.
Because you can't get TSN on Prime.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, I
You
didn't
can
know
go.
that.
You can go through Prime and get like any channel you want, basically, that's in Canada. You can get through Prime.
But you have to pay for each separate, like you pay for Prime and then you pay for TSN and then you pay and you pay and you pay.
But it's usually less than going straight through TSN.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
You not always. There's like the TSN Plus and all those extra things are going to charge you about the same.
Right.
But that to me, that means there's a partnership already there that they're connected. Why not use that?
Yeah.
Or even partner with CBC and do one CBC game on Saturday that leads right into Hockey Night in Canada.
Right. Problem with that is, I mean, that would work. Why not?
Leads right like your lead into CBC to Hockey Night in Canada for a Toronto Montreal game is Toronto at Hamilton. You don't think that's going to boost those numbers just a little bit in that last quarter?
Probably, right?
To me, that's there's so many different ways it could go, but to me, that would be the ideal solution.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens because that's going to have to happen this year. 2026.
It'll be
you'll see something coming out.
Yeah, and I don't know what how my brain is not using the right words, how the process is going to work for when they can actually start negotiating with outside companies.
We wanted to ask that question. Nobody ever did.
Yeah. But it's got to be soon. Like, and I'm only speaking in terms of because I follow WWE as closely as I do, I know how their negotiating rights work. I assume it's going to be similar.
Well, I'm sure there's behind the scenes talks right now already happening and have been happening. Nothing official, but there's art. Do you have interest? Do you have interest? Do you have interest? Oh, you have. Okay, we got five different people with interest.
We can start negotiating January 5th. Should we book a meeting for January 6th with you guys? No? Okay. Should we book it, right? Like,
yes.
It's, it'll be an interesting thing. And I hope the CFL does the right thing, the CFL and the CFLPA, and they highlight it throughout the journey. Like, this is the interest we're having. All you need is a statement from the CFL being like, we're having interest and we're having conversations, because that's also a negotiation tactic.
True.
You don't have to name who you're talking to, but you can say we're having amazing conversations with like 5 or 6 different huge companies across not just Canada, but also into the United States.
True story.
Right? Anything else in the world of the CFL you want to talk about before we talk about the lovely Vancouver Canucks?
You brought up Toronto. Excuse me. And their dismal attendance last season. I think you said average 15,000 or something.
15,109.
Absolutely horrible. It's been reported. Farhan Walji actually tweeted something out. I believe it was Farhan. It was reported somewhere. I don't know if it was Farhan. That the head coach vacancy for the Toronto Argonauts, the reason for this is it's a shit show in the front office. And nobody wants to go there.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous, right? Like,
they've had 3 conversations with 3 different people now, and they all said, yeah, no, we'll pass.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought for sure O'Shea was going. We thought it was a done deal. Everybody was talking at the Grey Cup, and I mean, when I say everybody, I mean everybody from the tops of the top in the CFL media to the bottom of the bottom. They were
the tops of the tops
saying,
to us.
Huh?
The tops of the tops to us.
Yes. And we're the bottoms.
Correct.
And they were all saying that O'Shea was going to Toronto. And someone took a picture of him in the Toronto airport And he talked about this and how mad he was that someone took a picture. And I'm like, it's a free world. Anybody's allowed to take a picture. It's how the video is now.
You're also in a public place as a
Yes.
public figure. That's what's going to happen. If you don't want to be
Exactly.
seen at an airport, don't take a picture and don't go to an airport.
Take a private jet, right? If it's that. But yeah, no, there sounds like there is some big time issues in that front office. Now, is that a spillover from the quarterback situation from a couple of seasons back? I
Or
don't
is
know.
it?
I'm not saying it's the quarterback's fault, but I'm saying, is it all related?
Or is it simply that MLSE, who owns the team, have bigger fish to fry with the Toronto Maple Leafs being last in the Atlantic Division? So all hands on deck are towards Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's we'll get to it.
You mean Marner wasn't the issue?
Shocking.
Shock! The world has stopped. Toronto sucks. Oh, so does the Canucks. So we're kind of even.
To be fair, I think the Canucks are worse than
They are
by one
They're
point.
The bottom three.
Yeah, by 1 point, we are worse than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the coaching situation. So we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to keep talking about it. Hopefully, we've talked to a bunch of people. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get some CFL content going throughout the year, not just through the season. Obviously, it'll take a back seat probably now until there's some big breaking news as we focus on the Canucks.
As we talked about, I'd like to try starting in January, seeing if we can reach out to our newly found connections in the CFLPA and start having a regular segment every week on our show where we bring on a current player, and talk about what's going on in their lives and what they do in the off season. Kind of give you that behind the scenes look rather than it's hard to get players during the season. I get it, but off the season, let's try. We got how many weeks before the training camp starts?
When do training camp start? May?
Yeah.
4, 8.
See if we can't get 2 or 3 players from each team.
17 weeks until May if we start in January.
Right? So, I mean, if we can get 2 or 3 players from the Lions, 2 players from the Stamps, 1 player from Edmonton, couple players from Winnipeg, 1 player from Toronto. And you know what I mean. We'll even try to get Bo Levi Mitchell. How about that? We did make some cool contacts with a certain family in the CF that's associated with the CFL. So
yes, that one will be interesting. That one I'm very interested to follow up with and see when we can get that rolling, because I think it's going to be a super cool and super different podcast.
Well, I mean, we talked about it, I think, on air that we met the Philpotts we met Corey Philpott. Thank you, Joe, for Joe Geddes for inviting us to the after party of the Legends Lunch, and we got to meet Mr. Corey Philpott. We had met Tyson the Wednesday when we first got there and had a great conversation with Tyson. So trying to get all 3, the 2 twins, Tyson and Jalen and Corey, all on the show at the same time, I think, we would just have to sit back and not talk.
Just let
them over.
Which is the type of guest we like, because the less we have to talk, the better.
And let's face it, they don't want to hear us talk. They want to hear our guests talk.
But now we do have to talk, even though we can push it off for as long as we can. We did for half an hour. The state of the Vancouver Canucks. And I want to... No. Before we go any further. Because, you have your head down in shame. Because... at the start of this season, when we had a rocky start where we won a couple, we lost a couple, and I said I still don't think this team is good enough. And you're like, oh, it's too early in the season for you to be saying this. I'm like, I think we need to start talking rebuild. And you were like, rah, 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 rah. We're 3 weeks into the season. I can't believe you're even talking about rebuild. Well, we're now 2 months into the season. And the rebuild word isn't coming from me. It's not even coming from the reporters. It came from Jim Rutherford himself, the vice president of hockey operations.
I've never... I shouldn't say never. I could probably say never seen a team without any effort. There's no chemistry on this team whatsoever. Consider Hughes gone. He's not going to stick around in this bullshit. He really isn't. I can't see why he would. Unless we bring in all kinds of, like, I don't know what we can do. Like, do we get rid of Demko? There's lots of teams out there looking for a goalie. Does
Demko have any trade value?
Right?
Like, and in all honesty, I think Demko, when he's able to play, is a top 5 goalie in the league. The problem is over the last 3 seasons, how many games has he played?
Not very many. You look it up. EP40, Elias Pettersson. I mean, we're paying that kid $11 million a year, is it? How much do we pay him?
I believe 11.6.
Nobody's going to want him.
So, over the last 3 seasons, Demko has played 84 games, which averages to 28 a season. However, if you break that out by season, he's played 51 games in 23-24, and then played 23 games in 24-25, and has only played 10 games this season.
Yeah.
He has had 2 seasons where he's played over 40 games. 2.
It's sad.
That's it. 2.
I was watching Harrison Price this afternoon, and you could just see the pain, the actual physical pain they were going through talking about this team. I couldn't imagine having to go on the air 5 days a week and try to talk anything but negativity about this team, because let's face it, this team effing sucks. So there's no redeeming value of this team right now except for Hughes.
So I want to go back to the whole Hughes situation. You said there's no chance he's staying. I think there's a small chance. I don't think it's likely, but it was brought up today. I think it was Jamie Dodd brought it up on Canucks Talk with Jamie Dodd and Thomas Drance, right?
Yeah.
Because he also writes at The Athletic. And he said, do you not also get, like, they were talking about Hughes is probably gone, and like everyone knows you want to win. A competitive player wants to win, and that's why his body language after the games during the post-game conferences has been probably the worst it's ever been, but they've also are losing worse than they've ever lost. He's also playing 30 plus minutes a night because Adam Foote, I don't think we have enough time to get into what Adam Foote is doing with this team. But the thought process is doesn't Quinn Hughes feel like the type of guy who says, I've started this, they've presented me a plan, and I get it's going to take 4 years, but if we follow this plan, we're going to be there, and I want to be a part of that. And then I can go play with my brothers. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
If I believe they had a plan, then I might agree with this. But
that's 100%.
There's obviously not a freaking plan in this team right now.
So the problem is, and every time Rutherford, Alvin, hell, even Foote talk about it. Well, what's the problem this year? Well, we got injuries. Injuries are a causation of us losing. The fact is that this team, even from the beginning of this year, with everyone healthy, What did we say? We need to go out and land one big center. We are one piece away from being one piece away. So if they're saying, oh, well, the reason we've been unlucky. This year is injuries. Last year it was the P.D. Miller riff. The year before that, everything went right. That's the team that we are. They're not learning the lessons that me and you who are watching this goddamn the games, and have no input on it are learning. And that's, this team does not have the skill, nor the direction, nor the compete level to move forward.
Sorry, I have to go to the chats. I know we're into. Do you remember our waiter at the rec room when we were wasting the day on Monday? And I handed him the card. Well, he showed up in the chat. I'm really sorry.
Hello.
Your username is just user, and I can't remember your name. So, but thank you for tuning in. He has a question for you.
Yes.
Curious what you guys think about Lucas Reichel, who's available for trade right after being acquired.
I think it was a bold move to take a player who was struggling already as a winger and put him at center and see what he was going to do. I think he has a lot of tools that could make him a great player. I think he was put in a position to lose, and I don't think we have the time to rebuild him. Honestly, I think you waive him and you send him down to the A and let him go down there.
There you go. Good answer. And it's Elior. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. That's cool. We met all kinds of people when we were in Winnipeg, and we were telling them about our podcast. We'd hand out cards. So it's cool that you jumped on, and I'm glad you did. That's cool. Because listening to Harris and Price today, they were throwing around ideas, and one of the ideas was put Hughes in at center.
That was brought up a couple of years.
Let me finish my thought here. And at first I was like, well, that's just like, come on. And then they were using examples of the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series. Oh, we need a shortstop, right field. You're now a shortstop. Why not try it? Like, you got to shake something up. Like,
no, you don't take the player who is arguably, at worst case scenario, he's the second best defenseman in the league. Arguably first, because he does not play on a good team.
Yes.
Like, if Hughes played on a great team like the Colorado Avalanche or hell, even Edmonton, like if you swap Bouchard for Hughes, I think you'd see how truly great Hughes is when he's playing with elite talent.
Yeah.
And he's not having to play with, and no disrespect to the players he's playing with, but Elias Pettersson has proved he's not elite talent right now. Brock Besser is a fantastic middle six shooter. Other than that, who do they have? I'm sorry, DeBrusk is a great addition piece. Kane has been not worth the piece of paper we used to sign the trade.
Complete waste of a spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into Kane, but the organization hasn't learned the lessons that we clearly are seeing.
Well, it's just weird to me. Like, this whole season seemed to be based on if we can stay healthy. That was our plan. If we can stay healthy. And the worst case scenario literally has happened. We've got Hedel out. We've got Demko out. And it goes on and on and on. How can you make a plan based on that?
Yeah, that's a problem. Active injuries. We got Teddy Bluger, Philip Hedel, Thatcher Demko, Derek Forbert, Kevin Lankinen, and Nils Höglander, and Brisebois. But
DKC, I don't know who that is, but this person says the Canucks beat the Flames in preseasons. It's not the skill, it's the team chemistry, whether that's coaching or player personality. I totally agree. I think if these players were put on, if you took our top 10 players and put them on other teams, they would probably shine. Like the spotlight would shine huge. For some reason, it's not working in Vancouver for most players. Now, the Bessers, they ain't going anywhere. He loves Vancouver. He has said it. He's not going anywhere.
And he has a no movement clause.
Well, that's why, right? There's a few players on the team where you just go, okay, we can build around this. We can get rid of Kane. Who's going to take him?
I think, to be fair, I think there's a perfectly good spot for Kane
on the fourth line or the bench?
On a playoff contending team as your third, fourth line winger who's just there, who's a power play specialist,
plays 5 minutes,
plays 10 minutes a night max.
Yeah,
you're happy with that.
Yeah, but that's not what we need.
No, we needed to go out, and we said this from the get-go. We were expecting a big offseason because there was a lot of money to be spent. And the only big move we made was Evander Kane, who has done what? Did you lose your train of thought?
I got to get out of the chat because it's distracting me. I love when people chat, so keep throwing in your comments because it's awesome. But then I can't listen to Jake because I'm old and I can only do one thing at a time.
So there's a lot of talk that Evander Kane drives offense or drives opportunities. I took some stats, and this is from a couple days ago, so it might have changed over the last I think it's been 2 games since I pulled these stats, because I got really pissed off listening to people tell me that Evander Kane should be on the top line and shouldn't be anywhere else. We know Elias Pettersson, EP40, hasn't been playing all that well. In 22 games, EP40 has 47 high danger chances for, meaning when he's on the ice, he's scored, or there's 47 high danger chances.
Yes.
There's been 48 against. So pretty one off, but still high event hockey. With a 49.4% high danger chance for.
Do they show block shots?
I don't have it on this set of stats right here, but I can find it.
He was in the top 2 or 3 for dropping down and blocking shots.
Yeah. So I just want to compare that to Evander Kane, who's played in the exact same amount of games as PD has. 32 high danger chances for. 35 against for 47.8 high danger percent for. How are you saying that someone who's supposedly driving offense and getting all these shot opportunities, and like, this is on Sportsnet Radio, the people that are talking about this. So I know that they have to have some bias and that there's some pressure from Sportsnet because they are the rights holders.
Yes.
And there are some biases and some things that are behind the scenes. We know that for a fact. But right, to outright tell people that Evander Kane deserves to be on the top line because he's driving more play or shots. Yeah, his shots are from the blue line and they're half-hearted attempts because he wants to get off the ice because he can't skate anymore.
He takes more penalties. He creates, like, he gives up the puck. It's just a menace. He's worse than Chaos Giraffe.
The problem is Chaos Giraffe is sheltered minutes. He's playing your second line right now.
Yes.
He's honestly, and the whoever chatted in, I don't remember who it was, said something about Myers. Myers has been playing perfectly fine. You know he's going to make one big mistake every game.
He's Myers.
But you know what you're getting with him, and he's consistent.
Yes.
And you can go 5 games where you're like, oh, I haven't noticed Myers. And then 1 game where he'll make 3 mistakes and make 3 plays where you're like, where has this been?
I guess it comes down to, the question we need to ask, and we need to ask our audience, is where do we go from here? We're third worst in the league. 5 points, 6 points out of a playoff, 7 points out of whatever it is, out of playoff position. Do we tank? Or are we giving up? Is this season just say screw it? And then do we actually sell?
Well, and so and I want to talk about this. There was a memo. So on Monday, there was meetings with all the higher ups in Rogers Arena. At the end of the day, they sent out a memo to all 31 other GMs saying, our veterans are available. Send us your offers.
Except for Hughes.
Except for Hughes. For now.
It'll be interesting. I have a feeling, just listening to Twitter tweet, whatever it does.
X.
There seems to be a lot of chatter, and not just about the Canucks. It seems like this team's looking for something, that team's looking for something. There's a lot of teams looking right now. So could the Canucks be in a position to make a big trade, blockbuster trade, or is it a case of selling off our expenses and rebuilding?
I don't think with this ownership group you'll ever see a total rebuild.
No. That was another thing that was brought up on Sekeres and Price was ownership. These guys are in the construction business.
Yep.
That's how they made their money. And they can't...
Construction business.
They can't... I'm ignoring you. They can't build a practice facility. Maybe they're over their heads. This team is worth $18 billion, apparently. 18 to 22 billion. That's the average price of a NHL team right now.
I believe there was a...
Maybe it's time to get a new owner in there.
So, yeah, CNBC released yesterday.
Yeah.
That all of their 32 team evaluations. Canucks finish 12th.
Yeah.
2.2 billion.
2.2.
2.2 billion.
2. What did I get in? 22. I probably saw 2. Okay, so 2.2 billion. Two questions that have to be asked. Can the Aquilinis afford to go 3 or 4 seasons where we suck? And when I mean suck, I don't mean finishing mid-pack like we have for the last 10 years. I'm talking about Edmonton Oilers finishing last for 5 years in a row on purpose, I might add. Can the Aquilinis, A, can they afford it? B, would they allow it?
No, they can't afford it. They can't even afford to buy out the youngest brother who wants out.
Right?
They're literally looking for a minority partner to come in to raise funds so they can buy out their brother.
Is there a point where the CFL steps in?
NHL?
The NHL steps in and says, okay, look, listen up, guys. You're pretty much the only team, I'm not sure, this could be way off, that doesn't have a proper practice facility. You're squabbly, your family's embarrassing the league. We need to move on.
Yeah. It's
just a thought.
No, I think it's a very it's something that needs to happen for this team to be able to do what it needs to do. Because if you laid out a plan, and we talked about this before, and you said you can't put out a letter saying you're going to tank.
Yes.
The New York Rangers did in 2018.
They did.
They put out a letter to their fan base saying, "Look, we're not playing up to New York Rangers standards. We understand that. We understand that it's going to be a tumultuous time or a time where it's going to suck and it's going to hurt us. And we apologize to our fans because we haven't been running this thing properly. We're righting the ship. It might take 2 or 3 years, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to be bad. We're going to give the youth the chance to play on this team. And then we're going to have a contender." No, that plan hasn't really worked out because of ownership getting involved. But just because you can't do that, just because we've talked about it before, and you've said it before. It's like, well, you can't just go out and say we're going to suck. We're intentionally tanking. You can't say you're going to intentionally tank. The players are going to go out there and play to win. But if you got rid of Brock and you got rid of Kane, and if you want to, honestly, at this point, keep Kane.
Keep Kane.
And Hughes leaves, and you replace these guys with 22-year-olds. Yeah, they're gonna struggle. It's gonna suck. They're probably gonna hate it. But wouldn't you be in a better place with the fans saying, "Here's a clear plan. We're gonna do step A: get rid of the people who we deem are too old to be in this organization right now because we're rebuilding. B, we're gonna let the youth run this team. C, we're gonna acquire 100 draft picks over the next 10 drafts.
Yeah.
And we're gonna draft them. We're gonna draft, and once we get that that first overall pick or those game-changing players, well, then we'll be in a place to say, okay, we have all this extra talent now. We can trade and make deals and find the pieces that we haven't been able to draft."
That's what Edmonton did.
They really sucked for many years.
5 years, the last in the league. I'm sure of it. Right?
And now look at them.
Sorry, BM, I'm not sure what you're saying. 2 to 3 years for the last 12 years. Are you saying you'd put up with 2 to 3 years to rebuild or to restructure?
Or are we 2 to 3 years? Are we 2 to 3 years away from rebuilding, like we have been for the last 12 years?
Yeah, I keep saying it, and I said it to Jake in a text. I'm done. I don't even want to watch games anymore because they're no fun to watch for me.
I messaged you a couple days ago, and it was like, I don't want to. I'm apathetic about this team, and so. Watching the games used to be I used to get really excited, and now it's like, cool, there's a hockey game on. I'm going to watch it because I'm an idiot. But I could do so many other things with my time.
Well, and me now living in this, or going to be living, basically living in the Central Time, a lot of these games start at 9 o'clock now. And sorry, but I'm not staying up to watch a non-effort.
Yeah.
It's just
100%.
not going to happen.
100%. So
I see what BM was saying. He was saying that was the plan. That's what the plan has been for the whole 12 years, 2 or 3 years away.
100%. Right? It's frustrating.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, putting your hand like something. I'm not going to use that word, but I don't know who you're talking to. Stop putting your hand like that. I'm not going to read the last words. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You're going to have to fill us in.
Canucks are about to start playing against Anaheim, which will be a very fun game because Anaheim is a very fun team to watch. So enjoy that. Problem is, and we didn't even talk about it. The goalies for this road trip right now are Tolopilo and what's his name? Oh my God, I just had it and I lost it.
That's how bad it is, folks. We don't even know who the team is playing.
Wow. What is his name? This is terrible. Yuri Patera.
Nikita
yes. Tolopilo. Yeah, interesting times to be a Canucks fan because Lankinen is out for personal reasons.
Maybe he agrees that we need to tank.
For it to be personal reasons to leave when your number one goalie is out, and to step away for personal reasons, to me that means something major is happening. So I'm hoping everything best for Kevin Lankinen and his family.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because to me, that's the only thing that screams is something big is happening in his personal life, and no one wants that to happen. So hopefully it's something small and nothing too major, and he's back with the team quickly. But Demko's on this trip. Lankinen could, I guess, fly out and catch up on this trip out, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this team in the next couple weeks. I have a feeling there is going to be a trade, and I feel like the return is going to be a lot less ideal than what we want. I think it's going to be a Kiefer Sherwood trade.
I hope not. I like Sherwood. But again, we have to do something. Like what we have isn't freaking working. So blow it all up. Yeah. And anybody who's watched our show for any number of episodes or years has been with us from day one. They remember the clip, trade everybody, trade the coach, trade the players, hell, trade the fans. I've always been the guy saying you can't do that. I'm the guy now saying blow the whole damn thing up. Hughes is the only untouchable in my eyes.
And the players who have no movement clauses, they have a say, right? Like even
force them to waive that because everybody wants out. I can guarantee you. Just look at them playing. I've talked to a lot of real hockey insiders, and they all say there's nothing in this team. They have nothing. You can tell.
And it's not like they're even playing for each other. And like we talked about, there's no effort. There's nothing that's happening.
No.
It's wild.
Are you going to make me do picks?
I was just going to bring that up. I don't think so, because I think the season is off to such a terrible start for your picks and the Canucks. I think we're going to put a pause on the Old Man Predicts. We'll bring it back in the CFL. We'll come up with a new segment for the Old Man. I have an idea for one, but I want to run it past you before just throwing it at you on live.
That's a good thing to do. Hey, BM, you say it's a first-time viewing. Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've had some good numbers tonight, not just on YouTube, but on Twitter as well. So good to see. I hope this continues.
Anything left that you want to say to everyone before we put a bow on episode 139?
Go Canucks. It's stuck in my throat when I went to say it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it so much go Canucks or is it tank Canucks?
You know I hate that word. We could be in Edmonton and we could go on a 15, 20 game winning streak and be right back.
No, we can't. No, we can't. We can't. You know why? Because we don't have Connor McDavid. Because we don't have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. We have Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes, who are great players. One is all world, but they're not two of the best players in the world.
I love arguing with you, but I can't on this. And all day I was like, how is this going to work? Because we're both in agreement for first time in a long time. Jake's the one always saying, blow it up. And I'm like, would you stop? You can't just blow it up. We're not doing that bad. We're mediocre. We're one or two players away. I think we're 40 players away.
We're 2 players away from being 2 players away.
Yeah. By the way, I like the way you've done your background. It looks very good.
Thank you. All I did was move my camera.
It looks very good. It looks very, very professional, sir.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but thank you. Everyone, that is going to be the show because we are going to let you go so we can all go watch the Vancouver Canucks. Maybe try to... You know what? With the way this team works is they're going to eke out a win tonight.
Just to piss us off.
Well, and then afterwards they'll be like, "Yeah, there's a lot of noise around the team, and we persevered and able to really get through this." It's going to be one of those types of games. But everyone, please do like and subscribe if you're new here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're not following us, you can follow us on X, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. AHSP_pod. We'll be here next week, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific time, Figure that out for your time zone. Have yourselves a wonderful night. Mwah. Goodbye.